What is up, everybody? Welcome back. Let me get that mouse out of the screen. There we go. So this isn't actually going to be an episode, as you can tell by the title. What I'm doing here is I've reached the point in this game where I feel like it's about time that we want to have some other weapons to play with, and as I'm going to try and do a different weapon every episode, hopefully. And in order to do that, I need to get some other weapons up to scratch. At this point in the game, you should be about +5. Everything you have should be +5. When you head this way, you want a +5 weapon if you're using a regular weapon. Obviously, like the Black Knight Halberd, they're going to be a little different because they use different upgrade materials. If you have something like that, like a random drop you're using, you probably don't have to upgrade that. But if you want to say use the server in this next area, you're going to want to level it up. I will show you in later episodes. I'll show some episodes called Farming Routes, telling you the best places to farm at certain points in the game. However, I will not, and I'll show you the route, how to do it, the best way to do it, all that stuff. But I'm not going to be doing them. What I'm actually going to be doing is dupe glitching. What dupe glitching basically entails is, in the game there are certain things like the Soul of Quelaag. It is acquire many souls or make a weapon. You can consume this. You choose it, and it says use Soul of Quelaag. We're going to say no, that's okay. But there's a way to use the item and get the effect without actually consuming the item. Now this is a glitch, obviously, and if anyone gets mad at me for doing this, whatever. I want to show you everything there's to know in this game, and this is something that, having played this game as long as I have, I think I'm within my right to dupe glitch, especially for this series, being that I want to show as much as I can off weapon-wise, like in actual combat. Obviously later on I'm going to do the weapon spotlight video type things, but I want to show you how they work in the real game. And to do that, I need them to be viable. I don't want to go into an area using, a level 1 longsword when I could be using this. Obviously, the weapons are going to be weaker than stuff like this. These are special weapons. That's why they're special. They're rare, hard to get, or, you have to do something special to get them. So I'm going to teach you how to do a dupe glitch. There are technically 2 kinds of dupe glitching in this game. I'm going to show you the way I know. I can tell you how to do the other way, but I've only ever successfully done it a handful of times. So the harder way is, I don't think I have any left, but say I had a soul. Say this was a, soul of a lost undead. You put that in your hotbar. So say that, I think it works with humanity too. So basically what you have to do is you have to have one of them left. And this is why this one's so hard, because if you I believe it's a frame perfect thing. Basically, right as you consume an item, there's going to be, I'll just consume one to show you. Watch the animation. I will slow it down for you in post-production. Right at the last second before it's consumed in your bar down there it says 13. On the frame before it turns to 12, you have to push the button again. And if you get it right, it will consume the item again, even if you shouldn't have had one left. And this only works, from what I can tell, this only works on the last of the item. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure. This is the hard one to do, and it's really not worth it. None of the speedruns or anything actually utilize this consistently. If they ever get it, it's just kind of like, oh cool, hey, I got a bonus couple souls type thing. Now the dupe glitching that I'm going to be teaching you is a lot easier. In fact, it's very easy. All you have to do, so you have to put on your hotbar. On your hotbar, you want to put the soul you're going to use, and you want to be on it. Now, the way this works, and I'll put the buttons in here in post so you can see them on screen. The way this works is kind of a process. Basically what we're doing is we're using input delay and we're kind of queuing up our actions. We're basically confusing the game. The game's not sure what we're doing, and so it's doing what it thinks we're doing. And instead of consuming the soul, it thinks basically, basically we're going to be consuming our Estus. So we're going to use our Estus. So when you use this item, you'll see here, it does that. Now if you do this, basically what I hit here is I hit left trigger to block. You can do this with rolling. You can do this with attacking. I find it easiest to do with blocking. And one note that I mentioned at the creation of this character, if you're using a female character, using your shield to block will not work. For some reason, this will not work on a female. If you have a female character, you have to use a weapon attack or a roll or something. Or a backstab. You can also even chain them together, which I'll explain later. But so, the button combination you press is left... Hold on, I gotta think about this. Left trigger, the way I do it is left trigger, square square start, and now we're in this screen. So, left trigger, I hit double X just to be sure I get it in the window, and then start. That's gonna pull up, obviously, your start menu. Obviously, you want to do this in a safe place. You'll notice down on... So if I push B right now, it's going to say you want to use the Soul of Quelaag. So what happened was, because we're in this animation, while we were still in that animation, we told it we want to use the soul, and then we push start, which pulls up the menu, which basically locks in our stuff. So left trigger, XX, start. Oh, I pushed A as well. So that's the next part. So if you can do that, like for practice, if you want to practice this in chunks, practice left trigger, square square start. There's kind of a pattern, like it's like you'll see it, like I'll tell you, like left trigger, you'll see me do it, and then I'll say square square start. So square square start, not it's X. I'm sorry, I do this all the time with controllers. So you want to hit your X the use item. So practice that until you can get it. You can tell you did it right by the soul in the bottom there. Well, you can't actually. So you can tell you did it right by doing it, and then exit, just pushing B. And if it says, do you want to use the soul? You've done it right. You've accomplished the first part. So after that, once you're here, you don't have to do this quickly. You can take as long as you want. All you have to do is go into your... So basically it's left trigger, XX start, A, 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 A. Now you'll see there, we got 8,000 souls. That's how much the Soul of Quelaag gives us. But the soul is still in our inventory. And you can keep chaining this, you can keep doing this infinitely. So, and if you want to say no there, I think that allows you to, maybe it doesn't. I don't know what does that, but sometimes you can fix it. So, AA, use soul, yes. Don't be scared. This is something you'll have to practice, and obviously if you fuck it up, you can. It's happened a lot to me when I was learning it. You will use the soul and it'll be gone. So if you're going to practice this, I'd practice it with a soul that you're not attached to or you're not going to use. All I have, this is the only soul I have right now, so I'm going to use it. But you can actually get pretty fancy with this. So after you do this, you can do this, and while you're using the soul, you can queue it up again. So, it kind of looks like this. And all we're doing there is normally we're using the left trigger button, the action. So instead of using that, we're just using the consume animation. That's all we need, is something that we do that we can queue up stuff behind. It works a lot like the Mike Tyson Punch-Out, the old NES one. How you can kind of, if you push it, it'll like line up your next attack ahead. That's exactly what we're doing. Like if I were to push left trigger and then right bumper, as soon as it's done, like I push these, boom boom. Watch. So let me put this away so it's not as obnoxious. So it's like boom boom. I push left trigger, right bumper. And it doesn't do it right away because it won't let us animation cancel. But it queues up the next attack. So that's what I'm going to be doing. That's how you dupe glitch. You can do it with a couple different things. You can do it with any named soul. So Soul of Quelaag, Soul of some of the other... There's a bunch of other bosses. The Soul of Manus is the one I usually do it with. Just because that's worth the most souls. Another thing you can do is actually do it with a Firekeeper soul. And this doesn't give you souls, but it does something equally as helpful. You go down to use it, and it'll give you 5 humanity every time to your total in the top right, or top left. And that's very, very helpful for farming later in the game. If you do choose to farm, well, I mean, I don't know why, if you're going to dupe glitch the Firekeeper soul, I don't know why you wouldn't, but for stuff like online play, maybe if if you're playing with a buddy, or you guys are trying to co-op, and you're running out of souls because you keep dying, or running out of humanity because you keep dying, you can do that. But yeah, this is I'm going to be doing this basically throughout the game periodically to level up my weapons. I'm not going to level my character with this, and I will try to get the souls back down to where I started so I don't have a huge amount of random souls. And if I can't, I'll just buy a bunch of something and throw it away and do it. So like, the reason for this is because now we can go in here, we can purchase Titanite shards. Go ahead and we can do this. Use the soul, pop it, get that 8,000 souls. We can go up here, well, we can go to him too, but we can go up here. Now that we have those souls in our thing, we can go in here, reinforce weapon. Take all the stuff we bought, and we're basically putting it into here without having to grind to get the souls to do it. I don't know why I put it all into that one. I'm not going to use that one, but I was just kind of showing you how it's going to work. And so I'm going to be doing that throughout the game to level up my like armor and, well, probably not armor as much, but mostly to level up different weapons. Like the Great Axe for sure, I'm going to level that up because we're going to play with that at some point. There are some things you can't do this with, just because, some of the stuff you won't have materials for, and they're not for sale. We're coming up on the guy that'll start selling the other stuff that we can get to plus 10 with, and at that point, everything will be in play. But yeah, so that's my explanation for why I'm going to be dupe glitching this game. And I'll just show you right here. If I ever am like this, where I started with, I don't know how many souls I had when I started this, but say I only had 180 souls when I started this. I'll just go to somebody nearby, and I'll buy something. I'll buy 407 of those, back down to 127, and then I'll just take those, the things that I bought, since I didn't pay for. I mean, I basically stole them. I'll take whatever I bought, 400 wood bolts, and I'll just drop them. And then once you, if you ever do that, if you drop something and you quit out, it should be gone. Hopefully it's gone. Otherwise I'll have to find a trash pit somewhere. Yeah. So basically that's what I'll do. Whenever I'm upgrading my weapons, I'll just do that until I need it. If I miscount, I'll just buy something and just drop it. And it's like it never happened. So, I know I keep explaining this, I just don't want, I want it to be known why I'm doing this. I'm doing it because I really want to play with different weapons and show off a lot of different stuff. But I don't want to get burnt out grinding for 10 hours, for fucking 5-6 hours to get the materials or the money to buy the materials in order to do a half-hour video using a certain weapon. So this is my kind of compromise. And I wanted to show you guys how to dupe glitch anyway. Now you should be able to. It's not hard. You can do some funny stuff with it, actually. I have a Razer, if you have a Razer keyboard, the one that lets you program stuff in, I actually did this a while ago when I was playing with different builds, and I don't know if I can condone this for PvP, just because, that kind of feels like it's cheating slightly. But I know people do it, Like I've never done it myself. Every time I get whenever I do what I'm doing when I do PvP, I usually have a build and I know what I want to do. And dupe glitching to get there usually doesn't make you get there a whole lot faster. Well, I can't say I never have. I have done it before. For my soul level 120 build, I actually dupe glitched for souls just so I didn't have to farm the souls. But I digress. I will say I could farm the souls. I just am not putting the time. It's kind of like a pay-to-win feature, which I usually hate, but everyone can do this and you don't actually pay, so I think it's fair. But yeah, like what I was saying, you can actually do stuff, like you saw me chaining them together on themselves. You can actually, once you know the button combos and how long it takes in between, you can actually set it up so that you can push a key and walk away and come back 10 minutes later and your guy's been dupe glitching that soul that entire time, and you can have, you know, billions of souls. I mean, I don't know why you'd want to. That's more souls than you should ever need. But if you for some reason desperately wanted a max level character or something, you could totally do that. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you learned a little bit about dupe glitching and how it works. I don't know why I threw all those souls away, because I still need to dupe glitch to upgrade some of the weapons I'm going to use, but I'm not going to show you that on camera. And none of the dupe glitching will ever be showed on camera again, probably. It'll be done in between episodes, and if people keep asking why I'm doing it, I'll just keep redirecting you to this video. So thanks a lot for watching this. I hope it was informative, and I will see you in the next episode where we will head into Sen's Fortress, like I said in the last episode. We'll head on up Sen's Fortress, kind of over there, I guess, yeah. Alright, thanks for watching, guys.